All right, so I'm going to talk about how I made more money being immoral versus moral. Um, so as of right now, I do not work, but I did registered nurse for a little bit. And being a registered nurse in my city, you would make like 2,500 every 2 weeks, right? Livable wage and more than the average person, but it wasn't the lifestyle I was used to. It wasn't the amount of money I was used to. I was used to more money. Like I was used to seeing probably 5,000, 6,000 every 2 weeks. That was more my play, right? Um, I'm just grateful I have a man who can stop taking me out of working and doing what I want to do, and now I can do what I want to do. But how I made more money being more right. So basically, a lot of sex workers are broke. A lot of sex workers don't make a lot of money. A lot of sex workers have to do a lot of stuff to make extra money. Now, I was not a sex worker, but I was friends with a lot of sex workers. Still am friends with a lot of sex workers, a lot of porn stars and women in the sex industry, and they still make more money than me being a me. Like when I was being a registered nurse, they still made more money than I did, touched more money than I did, had more fun than I did, and lived absolutely better lives than I did. Like they lived the way some. It's a small percentage of sex workers who do this, but living better than doctors, right? So basically, like, the more you would just lie, cheat, scam, and do this and just do outrageous things, you would be fucking rich. Like, you could go out on a date with a guy and get $2,000, $3,000 in one night, or you could get a CPN, set up a fake nail salon or something, put it in somebody's name, and you would get whatever you want. You would get whatever you want. You would have the luxury of the world. Like, it's crazy how, I hate to say it, but lying, scamming, and doing all this stuff will get you more money. And I think it's that way because we live in an immoral world. We live in an immoral world. I feel like the billionaires in our world is immoral. The millionaires here are immoral. A lot of people do things unless he's an athlete, a lot of or some like a doctor or something, or a lawyer, and a lot of lawyers don't even make a lot of money. A lawyer, they or an engineer, they live paycheck to paycheck. But it was just like the easiest way to get out of being a paycheck. Like I know some girls right now who I'm friends with who do OnlyFans, and they have a bunch of followers on Instagram, like 600,000. They don't even show pussy. They just post like a little quick sexy picture of their butt or something like that. And when they get in there, they just make fake videos. And that's what I say. A lot of men are actually weak. Men are so weak, and that's what made a lot of women. That's what's making a lot of us women rich. Um, they would just post a picture of their butt, men being thirsty to buy it, and then when they buy it, it would just be regular videos. You would just see regular pussy and titties, and that's it. Like, that's it. And they would make bank. They don't have to sleep with anybody. You don't have to touch anybody, and you would make bank just off selling a dream, right? And but yeah, it was like doing stuff like that. All you would get is public shame. And now I see why. I guess this is why I say God was created to keep people in check. God was created to prevent people from doing immoral or things you would consider immoral and building wealth off of it. Like, if you was just to tell your daughter, yay, just sell pictures, gain a following, sell vagina pics, and you can possibly be rich, you wouldn't want to tell her that because of moral, and then you're going to bring in God, and she's going to listen out of the fear of God, right? But as someone who's an atheist who no, I feel like they created a system of God to keep society going and functioning, because we need nurses, we need doctors, we need teachers. Like, so they just built this fake moral system to make people feel like, to keep people suppressed. Honestly, it's a fable. But yeah, it's just crazy how I was just sitting back thinking how I was just like doing what everybody in society told me not to do. I made more money versus doing what everybody in society says you should do. You struggle financially. It's just a weird thing to look at. And no, I was not a sex worker. It's other things you can do besides sex work to run up money, but that was just for an example of how just doing what the fuck you wanted to do and not caring about anybody's opinion, basically, aka whatever y'all would call it, having no shame, would literally build you up the ladder than having shame, going to school and doing it the right way.